Governor Dome Emmanuel arrives from Abuja, gets into tumultuous welcome by Akwa Ibom people. State House of Assembly puts machinery in motion to tackle tax evasion. President Muhammadu Buhari tipped to lead Africa's anti-corruption crusade. Details in just a moment. Very good morning to you and thanks for joining us. My name is Augusta Essien. People's Democratic Party faithful and supporters in the state were in high spirits yesterday as they gathered in their numbers at the Bom International Airport to receive the state governor, Mr. Dome Emmanuel, after the judgment by the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. Governor Emmanuel's flight from Abuja with registration number N224BH touched down at exactly 13:30 hours. Anthony Etim captured the scene. His report.
Men, women and youths, clad in different but colorful uniforms, arrived early to wait for the arrival of the governor. Starting the aircraft that conveyed the expected guest, the faithful went into wild jubilation. Addressing the crowd, the governor thanked them for their unwavering support, describing the turnout as a display of solidity, pointing out that the PDP government under his leadership will take the state to the promised land. He reassured the people of the confidence in the judiciary, but urged them to remain resolute in their resolve to support the present administration in order to enjoy the dividends of democracy in its true sense. He called on the people to embrace the Dakada spirit and to work together for the success of the PDP in the state.
Justice will always be done. Don't be shaken. The hope of a common man is in the judiciary. The same way the power of a common man is his voter card. The hope of that common man is in the judiciary. Today, Akwa Ibom people are so focused. We are moving towards the promised land. Will somebody detract us and bring us back?
The state chairman of PDP, Obon Paul Ekbo, encouraged the people to remain calm and to be focused in their approach to issues as the PDP government is set to transform the state.
I have the authority of God as the leader of the PDP administrative wing, where the government is the leader of all of us. I'm leading the administrative wing of the party. I have that authority this morning, and God has empowered me to further reassure you that that mandate is sacrosanct.
Others who spoke expressed their happiness to be associated with the event and promised to support Governor Dome Emmanuel to succeed.
You could see the enthusiasm in the crowd. You know, the people are very happy. They are trooping in their numbers. In this arena, we have nothing less than 8,000 members of PDP, and we have them in two batches. Apart from the people that will have done some of the roads, you know, we at the Globe area in Barracks Road, we have another 10,000 there waiting for him.
We know that this mandate is from God, and nothing will change. So that's why you find the crowd here, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Because maybe you welcome a governor. So it's like the man of that to flex.
So even if they do this election 10 times and in the night, any 24 hours a day, Dome Emmanuel will win as a president and as a PDP candidate.
Very happy as you can see. We are here in Akwa Ibom International Airport receiving our governor. He's confirming our mandate, the mandate that we gave to him in the last election, that he is still the governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Anthony Etim reporting.
Uyo, the state capital, stood agog yesterday as people came out in their numbers to receive Governor Dome Emmanuel after the judgment of the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja. The solidarity rally was attended by political groups, women, youth, and students. AI Inopo reports that there were such great jubilations when the governor and his entourage arrived to Wellington Basiwe and
It was a sight to behold as groups attired in different uniforms and placards came out since 10 o'clock in the morning, despite the hot sun, to wait patiently to receive their governor. They went into dancing, waving of palm fronds, banners and scarves as they waited, making the event look more like the triumphant entry recorded in the scriptures. Entertaining people who looked out in all directions to behold the entourage of Governor Udom Emmanuel was a brass band. Their curiosity, anxiety and patience came to an end by 2:28 p.m. when the governor's entourage drove through Ibom Plaza. Shouts of joy filled the air when Governor Udom Emmanuel stepped out of his vehicle to join the mammoth supporters in songs of gratitude and dance. After the fanfare, Governor Udom Emmanuel lauded the people for reaffirming the mandate they gave him on May, calling on them to protect that mandate to the end. Governor Emmanuel noted that despite the challenges and distraction, he is still out to industrialize the state, as more industries will be flagged off in a groundbreaking ceremony next week. To PDP faithful, the governor charged them to remain steadfast, stressing that justice will be done in the state. He emphasized that there was a successful conduct of election which saw him voted into power by the people of the state. He said he will create more employment opportunities for the youths, but advised them to be law-abiding.
Today you are challenging me to know that our women cannot go into the farm and sleep from morning till night, and meanwhile they don't have money to pay school fees. That our women must rise to greatness. Our women must rise to that greatness, to great minds, great people, great future, great Akwa Ibom State. We must march because we believe our tomorrow is in our hands.
In their messages of solidarity, the state PDP chairman Obong Polekbo, the Director General of Udom Moses campaign Otue Kongirong Esenkara, and the state chairman of Accord Party Joseph Itiaba said Udom is still and will remain the governor of the state.
The statement has to do about the mandate of 11th April 2015. The mandate was sealed. The mandate remains sacrosanct. The mandate is further reiterated today that nothing comes back to the mandate.
This is the time to lay the foundation for a serious tomorrow. I want to encourage our governor. He is leading us to the promised land. But remember that even on the way to the promised land, we will have challenges. We are here to reconfirm and affirm, consolidate and support this administration.
Iyageno Paul reporting.
The state government has pledged to support insurance business operators in their bid to achieve operational efficiency. Governor Udom Emmanuel gave the assurance during the opening of the 5th Annual Chief Information Officers Conference of the Nigerian Insurance Association, which took place in Uyo. Governor Emmanuel, who was represented by the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Kanukun, described the insurance industry as an integral part of the economy of any nation in view of its capacity to generate revenue as well as provide risk coverage. He said with wealth and employment generation being cardinal principles of his administration, he intends to work closely with insurance companies to create a favorable business environment that would not only be mutually beneficial, but would also inject vibrancy into the insurance sector. The state governor, who also applauded the Nigerian Insurance Association for promoting and upholding the universally accepted insurance best practices, professional ethics and integrity of Nigeria, however, lamented that despite its existence for over 4 decades, Nigerians were yet to appreciate the importance of insurance. He stressed the need for appropriate framework to be deployed to educate and enlighten the masses on the basic principles of insurance to enable them embrace and make the right insurance decisions, wishing them a very wonderful stay in Akwa Ibom State. The chairman of the Information Technology Committee of the Nigerian Insurers Association and Chief Information Officer, Niger Insurance PLC, Mr. Kunle Kukuni, stated that the aim of the conference is to create a platform for peer review for the deployment of effective and efficient information technology solutions in the Nigerian insurance industry. Shedding light on the theme of the conference, Rebooting Your Strategy for the Digital Age, Drive Business Value with Its Operations, the chairman stated that focus would be on technologies currently shaping the world, such as mobility, social media, analytics, cloud, as well as Internet of Things, and the effective deployment in digitizing the insurance business in Nigeria. Mr. Kukunoyi urged participants to take full advantage of the 3-day conference to network, socialize, and have moments of relaxation in the state, while also soliciting effective collaboration with the government of Akwa Ibom State.
Deployment in digitalizing the insurance business in Nigeria.
The occasion also featured award presentation, goodwill messages, cutting of the conference cake, among others. The National Pension Commission has concluded a 1-day stakeholders conference on the Pension Reform Act 2014 for the South-South Geopolitical Zone. The event had as its theme development ushered in by the Pension Reform Act 2014. Livingstone Daniel was there.
According to the organizers, challenges encountered in the administration of pensions in Nigeria had compelled the federal government to embark on the 2004 pension reform. The Pension Reform Act 2004, which established the contributory pension scheme to replace the defined benefit pension scheme, as it became unsustainable. In a welcome address, the Director General, National Pension Commission, Mrs. Chinelo Onowu Amazu, said within a decade of the implementation of the contributory pension scheme in Nigeria, the story of pension administration has changed for the better. The scheme, she noted, has delivered all its major objectives of the reform, in addition to generating over 5 trillion naira worth of pension assets invested into the economy. Represented by the Commissioner Inspectorate, Professor Mohamed Kauje Abubakar, Mrs. Chinelo said the purpose of the conference is to sensitize the people of the South-South on the new provisions and development ushered in by the Pension Reform Act 2014. 2014 Act repealed the 2004 Act and made provision for the establishment of the contributory pension scheme, as well as the National Pension Commission as the sole regulator and supervisor of pension matters in Nigeria. She stressed that under the 2014 Act, the contributory pension scheme now covers employees of the state and local government, as well as those employed in the private sector. The Act, according to the DG, also sets standard and framework within which states, local government, and the private sector are required to adopt and implement the scheme for the benefit of their employees.
Indeed, our achievements in the implementation of the contributory pension scheme has earned Nigeria a position in the Africa's hub of pension matters. However, no state in the South-South geopolitical zone has fully implemented the contributory pension scheme. This situation has denied the states the obvious advantages of the contributory pension model, including its sustainability as a system, a robust framework that eliminates the incentives for corruption in benefit administration.
delivering a lecture titled Application of the Pension Reform Act in the Public Sector and the Challenges of Implementation by State Government, the head of service Cross River State, Barrister Ikpejong Henshaw, said the Act provides for uniform contributory pension scheme for employees in the public and private sectors. Represented by Barrister Anthony Fiong, Barrister Henshaw emphasized that the Act requires employers to contribute a minimum of 10% of each of the employees' monthly emolument to the scheme, while the employee is to contribute a minimum of 8% of his monthly emolument. On the challenges of implementation, Barrister Henshaw said employees are not complying with the relevant sections of the Act, and as such, employers cannot also act accordingly. State government, according to him, operate a retirement benefit scheme, which he said contracts with the arrangement under the Pension Reform Act 2014.
The Act applies to any employment in the public service of the Federation, Federal Capital Territory, public service of the state government, public service of the local government, and the private sector. Now, for the private sectors, Section 2 Sub 2 provides that any private organization that has 15 or more members, and this scheme applies to that private organization, and even a self-employed person or organization that has 3 or less than 3, they are equally entitled to partake in the scheme.
Some major amendments introduced by the PRA 2014 include enhanced coverage of the contributory pension scheme and informal sector attendance, utilization of pension funds for national development, reviewed membership of board of pensions, access to benefits in event of loss of job. Others are timely review of pension, provision on payment of death benefit, and provision of additional benefits. High point of the occasion was an interactive section between the people and the resource persons. Livingstone Daniel reporting.
You're watching AKBC 45 News this Saturday morning. For the benefit of those just joining us, we said Governor Domi Emmanuel returned to the state yesterday into the warm arms of PDP faithful, women groups and youths after the judgment by the Governorship Elections Petitions Tribunal in Abuja. We also said that the state government has pledged to support insurance business operators in their bid to achieve operational efficiency. We take the break. After the break, we have more news for you. Do stand with us. Welcome back. The State Police Command has said that it has mapped out strategies to ensure safety of lives and property during and after the Yuletide. The Commissioner for Police, Mr. Mutala Mani, while interacting with newsmen, said that although the police has worked to keep crime in the state at its ebb, it still needed to be proactive in crime control. Mr. Mani said that the command was planning to launch a program to create security consciousness among the people, saying that when this is done, their job will be reduced. He promised to make judicious use of the resources available to protect lives and property of the people of the states.
I think a few weeks back I addressed you people on this issue. We have already drawn our operational order for the Ember month that will cut across down to end of January. Some people, they even enjoy celebrating the New Year more than the Christmas. Or the two are jointly celebrated together. We have already drawn up an operation order covering the whole of this period. We have sent to the force headquarters at our level here and at the zonal level. As we talk of resources, we are making maximum use of the little ones we have.
So paraded 2 persons aged between 24 and 27 suspected to be involved in armed robbery. The two persons, Itaokun Basi and Kufre Kuneyo, according to the police, were arrested based on intelligence. The police said that local pistols were recovered when the residence of the two suspects were searched.
In a bid to actualize our operation order and to ensure that the Ember months are made safer for anybody living or coming to Akwa Ibom State, we even went ahead a bit, which I asked the PRO to make some copies available to you, to make some flyers. These flyers, they just contain some security tips, which within 5 minutes you can read. And we have our functional distress call numbers on it. And 24/7, if you call our control, somebody is there to respond, and you know who and who to call to come for your assistance.
In an interview with Newsmain, the suspects, Itaokun Basi and Kufre Kuneyo, had this to say.
I am here as a cultist. One of my friends. They came to your work and they stayed into my house and search. They discover local mission. That is the reason why I am here.
We take another break to be back shortly.
A healthy man is a happy man. It is government plan for you to stay healthy and happy. To know what plans are there for you in the health subsector, tune to Unveiling the Mandate on AKBC Channel 45, Saturday 24th October 2015 by 11 a.m. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Dominic Wukong, will unveil Governor Dom Emmanuel's health programs in your favor. To participate, text your comments and questions to 081 639 29018.
Still ahead in our news, President Muhammadu Buhari tipped to lead Africa's anti-corruption crusade. Another bomb blast occurs in Manduguri, Borno State during Friday morning worship. Tension heightens in South Africa as students protest against a rise in tuition fees. Details of these and more in our national and foreign news package with Samuel Ayara.
The African Union Advisory Board on Corruption has unanimously adopted President Muhammadu Buhari to play a leading role in efforts to rid Africa of corruption. A member of the organization's board, Issa Ozi Salami, disclosed this in Lagos, saying the body was an autonomous organ established to prevent and combat corruption in Africa. He stated that the choice of President Buhari was arrived at during the body's meeting held in Tanzania, as the decision had further proven that Nigeria was assuming her leadership position in the continent. Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, on Friday morning came under terrorist attack when a bomb went off in a mosque, killing and injuring many worshippers during the early morning prayer session. The blast, according to residents, occurred in Jidare Polo area, though details of casualty remain sketchy. But the local civilian spokesman, Abbas Gava, in his account stated that 2 bombs exploded at the mosque simultaneously. Rescue operations by the National Emergency Management Agency has so far recovered about 28 bodies, while those who sustained injuries have been taken to the hospital. And in the foreign scene, U.S. presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton was on Thursday grilled for 11 hours by Republican lawmakers who failed to land a decisive blow that is sure to impact her ambition. Clinton, despite the long day, maintained cool, avoiding the flares of frustration she was criticized for after her 2013 testimony to Congress about the 2012 Benghazi attacks. She insisted throughout the hearing that she never saw requests from embassy personnel for increased security in the midst of escalating violence in the region, as those requests were routed through diplomatic security personnel. Not fewer than 40 people lost their lives on Friday in a collision between a bus and a truck in southern France. The bus, which was carrying elderly people, apart from the 40 deaths, saw 5 people injured and 8 others who came out unhurt, even as the truck driver's situation was yet unknown. Most of the people on board the vehicle were elderly passengers who got trapped in the bus, which had not gone far on their journey, which was billed to be a day trip. Referring to the tragedy as the worst in almost 3 decades, President François Hollande of France, who is on a working visit to Athens, has condoled with families who lost their members while ordering a full-scale investigation into the cause of the crash. Tension over South African students' protests continued to grow, with students converging on the country's main government complex in Pretoria to protest rising tuition fees. The students, who are accusing government of not doing enough to support university students and their families, were seen setting public places and utilities ablaze. Meanwhile, the South African President Jacob Zuma, along with leaders of the ruling African National Congress, have expressed sympathy at the students' plight, calling for talks with the student leaders. In a related development, 29 South African students have been charged with public violence by the police, who again fired stun grenades to disperse students in Cape Town.
Do remember that you can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45Rio or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. Now to end the news, another look at the top stories. Governor Dom Emmanuel has arrived to you after the judgment of the Election Petition Tribunal into a tumultuous welcome by the people of the state. People in their numbers gathered at the Boom International Airport and on major streets of Uyo to accord the governor a rousing welcome. That's a package on behalf of the production team. Have a wonderful day ahead.